This was the infamous serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer's frankly surprising reaction to receiving a life sentence.
In closing, I just want to say that I hope God has forgiven me.
On July 22nd, 1991, Jeffrey Dahmer's heinous crimes were uncovered by the police. The dismembered body parts and skulls of his murder victims were found in his apartment.
Police removed boxes and boxes of body parts, evidence of what appears to be a psychopathic mass murder.
The Milwaukee monster was finally caught, and he was going to face justice for his crimes. Jeffrey Dahmer was questioned by the police for over 60 hours. 2 weeks straight. During his interrogation, Dahmer would admit to having murdered 16 young men in Wisconsin since 1987, with one earlier victim named Stephen Hicks he killed in Ohio.
There was no point in trying to hide my actions anymore.
Dahmer was tried for 15 counts of first-degree murder and was looking at a permanent stay in prison, but he had no intention of defending himself from the accusations. Instead, he pled guilty to his crimes and awaited the punishment that was to come.
I know my time in prison will be terrible, but I deserve whatever I get because of what I have done. Thank you, Your Honor, and I am prepared for your sentence, which I know will be the maximum. I ask for no consideration.
Dahmer was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, schizotypal personality disorder, and psychotic disorder, but was deemed legally sane at the time he committed his many murders. He was even described as a calculating and cunning individual. Yet, during his final moments as a free man, Jeffrey Dahmer seemed apologetic for his heinous crime.
I should have stayed with God. I tried and failed and created a Holocaust. Thank God there will be no more harm that I can do. I believe that only the Lord Jesus Christ can save me from my sins. I have instructed Mr. Boyle to end this matter. I do not want to contest the civil case. I've told Mr. Boyle to try and finalize them if he can. If there is ever any money, I want it to go to the victims' families. I've talked to Mr. Boyle about other things that might help ease my conscience in some way of coming up with ideas to make some amends to these families, and I will work with him on that.
Dahmer was sentenced to 16 life sentences for his murders. He would use the trial that sealed his fate to learn more about himself and attempt to atone for his actions.
Your Honor, it is over now. This has never been a case of trying to get free. I didn't ever want freedom. Frankly, I wanted death for myself. This was a case to tell the world that I did what I did not for reasons of hate. I hated no one. I knew I was sick or evil or both. Now I believe I was sick. The doctors have told me about my sickness, and now I have some peace. I know how much harm I have caused. I tried to do the best I could after the arrest to make amends, but no matter what I did, I could not undo the terrible harm I have caused. My attempt to help identify the remains was the best that I could do, and that was hardly anything. I feel so bad for what I did to those poor families, and I understand their rightful hate. I decided to go through this trial for a number of reasons. One of the reasons was to let the world know that these were not hate crimes. I wanted the world in Milwaukee, which I deeply hurt, to know the truth of what I did. I didn't want unanswered questions. All the questions have now been answered. I wanted to find out just what it was that caused me to be so bad and evil.